Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty exciting out of Scotland.
Yeah, the Isle of Skye. A new site just packed with dinosaur footprints.
Right, from the Middle Jurassic, so about, 167 million years ago?
Exactly. And the sources you flagged, they detail this study in PLOS 1, published April 2nd, 2025. Tone Blakesley and colleagues.
PLOS 1, so it's open access. People can actually read the study themselves.
That's right. And our goal here is really to pull out what these tracks, these over 130 footprints, tell us about dinosaurs back then.
Over 130. Imagine just, walking on a beach and finding that many. Some footprint trails longer than a car, apparently.
It's incredible, gives you a real sense of scale. And the study mentions two main kinds.
Okay.
You've got these three-toed ones from meat-eaters, theropods, and then rounder ones, likely from those big, long-necked sauropods.
A proper Jurassic shoreline scene. But Skye today, it wasn't like that back then, was it? It was subtropical. A lagoon.
Completely different, yeah. A warm, shallow lagoon. And finding any fossils from the Middle Jurassic is a big deal.
Why is that, particularly?
Well, it's just a period with a patchier fossil record compared to, say, the late Jurassic or Cretaceous. So every find, especially footprints which show behavior, is gold dust for understanding how dinosaurs were evolving and spreading.
Got it. So this fills in some blanks. Now, these tracks, over 130 is amazing, but you mentioned trackways, too, some 12 meters long.
Yeah, really long ones. Some of the longest ever found on Skye, actually. It suggests, sustained movement through the area, not just a quick pass-through.
And the size of the prints?
They vary between about 25 and 60 centimeters, so decent-sized animals.
Which brings us back to the types. Theropods like Megalosaurus, you said, and Sauropods. Cetiosaurus-like.
Pretty much. The three-toed tracks fit well with large theropods, and Megalosaurus is a classic UK example from around that time.
Okay.
And the rounder ones, yeah, they look like early neosauropods, so ancestors of the later giants like Brontosaurus and Diplodocus. Seeing both types using the same lagoon is really interesting.
And how were they moving? The study said slow walking, not much interaction.
That's what the tracks suggest, yeah. The spacing indicates a walking gait, nothing rushed. And there's no evidence in the trackways themselves of dinosaurs walking together, like in a herd or any predator-prey interactions right at that spot.
Huh. So maybe just individuals wandering through at different times?
Seems likely for this specific set of tracks. Just casual movement through the lagoon.
Okay. And this finding, does it? Does it change what we thought about dinosaurs in these Scottish lagoons? We knew sauropods like them, right?
It reinforces that, definitely. Sauropods clearly spent time in these coastal lagoon environments. But what is interesting here is the proportion.
How so?
Well, this site seems to have a higher number of theropod tracks compared to some other Skye sites.
What might that mean? Different menu options in this lagoon?
Could be. It might hint that this particular spot perhaps offered more food for meat eaters, maybe smaller animals that didn't leave tracks, or fish. It suggests these lagoons weren't all identical ecosystems.
Right. Subtle differences. But interestingly, no stegosaurs or other plant eaters like ornithopods.
None found at this site? No. Which is curious. Does it mean they weren't there? Or just didn't walk across this specific patch of mud?
Hard to say for sure.
Exactly. Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, especially in paleontology.
And just as a side note, there's that layer of human history too. Bonnie Prince Charlie supposedly landed near there.
Yeah, quite the historical footnote. Adds a whole different perspective thinking about recent history overlaid on these, incredibly ancient footprints.
It really does. So this work was led by Tone Blakesley from the University of Edinburgh.
That's right, and published in PLOS 1 with support from National Geographic and others. Good, solid research.
Great stuff. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the main takeaways. We've got this amazing site on Skye, over 130 Middle Jurassic footprints.
Yep, showing both big theropods and early sauropods using these lagoon environments.
Moving slowly, apparently on their own, not in groups.
And the mix of tracks, especially the higher number of theropod ones here, might hint at some ecological differences between these ancient lagoons.
Right. It really paints a picture. So thinking beyond this specific site, what else might be locked away in Skye's rocks from this period?
That's the exciting question, isn't it? There's clearly so much potential there.
And specifically, that higher count of meat-eater tracks. What could that ultimately tell us about the food web? The whole balance of that ecosystem back then definitely leaves you wondering.
It certainly does. A lot more to potentially uncover.
Thanks for digging into this one with us. Fascinating stuff.